Many of us adoptees really struggle around our birthdays. I know for me, the days leading up to my birthday tend to be more emotionally fraught, and I tend to be bothered by things that I wouldn't normally be. And the actual day of my birthday can be quite heavy and sad, and that just seems to lift as I move into the days following my birthday. In fact, I'm recording this now the day after my birthday, and I'm kind of feeling back to normal now. I'm pretty good, and I'm really noticing the difference. And of course, it's not surprising that so many of us struggle around our birthdays. I mean, for many of us, it reminds us of this very early, pivotal moment in our lives of abandonment or separation, depending on the situation. And many of us reflect on how life would have been and on the life that we've had. And of course, it brings up all these feelings of trauma that are attached from the separation. And it's interesting that these feelings are, they're not just cognitive. So I remember as a child, I would feel terrible around my birthday, and I had no understanding or context for why I felt that way. Nobody explained to me, and I don't think anyone around me understood themselves. Very often my parents would organise birthday parties, with birthday cake and candles and the whole thing, and people singing happy birthday. And I would just run away to my room or out into the garden and just want to hide and be on my own. And although I could see that I was supposed to be happy and I was supposed to be enjoying that celebration, I just didn't feel that I wanted to be there. Didn't feel that I had anything to celebrate. In fact, inside me, I was being ripped apart by these intense feelings of sadness and grief, which of course I didn't understand at the time. I just felt bad. And nobody around me, none of the adults or anyone else, could see what I was feeling, let alone help me to make sense of it or move through it. And so I was left very much with these feelings all on my own, suffering with them on a day that was supposed to be fun and enjoyable and, a time of celebration. And so it always made me feel really wrong about myself because I was expected to be really happy and I didn't feel that way. And it just kind of added to this feeling of something being wrong. And obviously, fast forward a lot of years now, and I've, now I have an understanding of that. I'm kind of way along in my healing journey. And maybe birthdays are not quite so triggering for me now. I have a much better time on my birthday, but I certainly remember what it was like previously before I started any kind of healing at all, which I didn't do until I was in my 30s. And even now, I can still find like my birthdays to be perhaps a little bit more challenging than other days. Perhaps I'm a bit more triggered than other days. And so I've just put in place a few strategies that make my birthday much easier for me, and I'm going to share them with you now. And I'd love to hear what you think, and I hope that they'll be useful for you. But more importantly, I'd love to hear your experience of your birthday, and both past and present, and if there's anything that you do around your birthday to make it easier for you. And if you share those in the comments, then obviously other people can see them and benefit from them as well, and that way we can all benefit from our shared experience. So one of the key things that I do for my birthday is ahead of time, I remind those close to me, so my family, close friends, and my wife particularly, that I don't want to schedule anything on my birthday by way of celebration. So I don't want to have a dinner scheduled or some kind of party or anything like that. I find when there's something scheduled for my birthday, it adds extra pressure because I know I'm going to have to go to that thing because people will be there and people will be waiting, and I'm going to have to show up and be in a good mood and be happy and be celebrated. And there is a chance, maybe quite a good chance, I'm just not going to feel like that. I'm just going to feel like maybe sitting on my own or doing something very quiet. I'm just not going to feel like being the center of attention and expected to be happy. And so I find that by not having anything on, it just takes away that pressure, and it doesn't make things more difficult for me. And then that just leaves me free to basically just have the experience I have on the day. So if I feel kind of like just staying at home and not doing very much, or if I feel on some occasions like, oh yeah, I do feel like I would like to see some people, I can just spontaneously do that. But I can just be very much in touch with how I feel and just kind of be authentic about it, which is, I wasn't able to do as a child. I'd have to pretend, and I don't want to be inauthentic anymore. And so this is a way of kind of setting things up so that I can just be how I am on the day. And I tend to do the same thing with work commitments. I try and clear the deck as much as possible so that, instead of being like triggered by, things that can happen at work or whatever, I just try to avoid those kind of situations because I want to be able to respond and behave in the way that I want to respond. And I know that day can be a little bit difficult at times. So that's the way that I have found works really, really well. And it's interesting because as soon as the day kind of passes, I tend to feel much better. And so if somebody does want to organise like a dinner or a party or whatever it might be, I just get them to organise it for 4 or 5 days after the actual event, maybe the following weekend or however it works out. And I find that by the time I get to then, I'm just not connecting that celebration with my birthday. So somehow I just find it much, much easier to handle. And I feel really good about it. That's something that works for me, may or may not work for you. So I'd be really interested to know what you think about this, if it's something that you do or if you do something different, and perhaps about your experiences, with your birthday, both past and present. And if you've enjoyed this video, please just click on the like button, and I also invite you to subscribe to the channel for kind of more videos like this one. And again, I really look forward to reading your comments and responding to your comments down below, and that will give everybody who watches the video also a chance to learn and to grow through these kind of like shared experiences. So thanks so much for watching the video, and I really look forward to talking with you soon. Take care for now. Bye.